So, are you ready for a deep dive? Let's get right into it. We're talking about cursed board games. You know those games where losing can have some serious supernatural consequences, like Jumanji, but what if those stories weren't just fiction?
Oh, they're definitely real.
That's what we're looking into today using this blog post from Mystic Investigations. It's called Are Jumanji and Other Cursed Supernatural Board Games Real?
Mystic Investigations is a website all about the paranormal. And this article goes pretty deep. It claims that the original Jumanji movie is actually based on a true story and that the game itself, a real artifact.
Oh.
Yeah, they say it's hidden away somewhere in the British royal family's collection.
So Jumanji isn't just a Hollywood fantasy.
Nope, not according to this article. They say it was created in the late 1800s by an African witch doctor and a British witch.
Interesting combination.
Right, and they were working together to fight back against colonialism in Africa.
So Jumanji is like a counter-curse.
Exactly. A way to protect Africa from exploitation. The article says that the creators poured their souls into the game. They trapped themselves inside its magic to make it powerful enough to ward off those outside forces.
That's intense. And what about the dangers we see in the movie? The stampeding animals, the jungle overgrowth, getting sucked into the game itself, all real.
All real possibilities, according to this article. The game acts as a bridge between our world and some other dimension, wilder, more dangerous.
But it doesn't stop there, right? The article also claims that the video game version of Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, is based in reality, too.
That's right.
So how does a board game turn into a video game?
Okay, so the article tells this story about a wizard named Wazzle. He steals the original Jumanji board game.
Oh.
And he uses his power to create a cursed video game.
So that's where the video game comes from.
Yeah, but he needed a powerful energy source to make it work. So according to the article, he ends up sacrificing a mystic named Veluza to a cyber demon.
A cyber demon? What is that?
Some kind of being from another dimension. It infused the game with that demon's power.
So now it's not just about surviving the challenges in the game. You can actually lose your soul.
That's the idea. And there's more. The article claims that Wazzle is using the game to make himself immortal.
What?
For every player who dies in the game, he adds years to his own life.
That's messed up.
Right. Like magic can be twisted, corrupted, especially when you're dealing with things like immortality and playing with forces we don't understand. Well, there can be consequences.
Mystic Investigations doesn't stop there, though. They introduce us to another game called Joc de Morte, supposedly even more dangerous than Jumanji.
Joc de Morte, what does that even mean?
It means Game of Death in Romanian. And guess who supposedly commissioned it?
Dracula.
Dracula.
Wow. Even the Prince of Darkness gets bored.
Apparently, he wanted something more challenging than the usual vampire stuff.
So he commissions a board game.
Yep, he gets this powerful sorcerer, Dimitri Diablo, to create the ultimate board game, something to really push Dracula's limits.
And who is Dimitri Diablo?
Oh, just the king of hell, according to the article.
The king of hell.
Apparently.
Okay, so what's this game all about?
It's a quest for the Devil's Chalice.
Sounds ominous.
It is. It's supposed to be a real artifact that grants ultimate power to evil souls. The article describes the game as this terrifying mix of real and imagined dangers. So you're facing fantastical creatures, but also potentially real supernatural entities as well.
It's like a nightmare come to life.
And get this, Dracula eventually got bored with the game and released it into the world.
Seriously. He just let it loose.
Yep. And it's led to tons of deaths throughout history. The article even mentions this incident in 1977 in the United States. Some Halloween party ended in tragedy because of this game.
That's terrifying. It's so interesting how all these creators imbue their games with this powerful magic, but they all have such different motivations. Like with Jumanji, it's about protection.
Right. Protecting that land from exploitation.
But then you have Wazzle, who's driven by this lust for power and immortality.
And then there's Dracula, who just seems bored and wants some kind of morbid entertainment.
It's like these games are a reflection of their creators, their desires, their darkness, amplified and unleashed upon the world.
Yeah.
It makes you think about our own fascination with the unknown, right? Pushing boundaries, seeking thrills.
Totally. It's like that whole saying, curiosity killed the cat, but like with a supernatural twist.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting about these stories, especially the ones about Jumanji, is how they take something so familiar, so innocent, like a board game, and turn it into something potentially sinister.
Right. Board games are usually associated with childhood memories, friendly competition, fun.
Exactly.
But the thought that those same games could be a gateway to something dark and dangerous, it taps into this primal fear, like a sense of vulnerability.
Yeah, it's like taking something safe and comfortable and twisting it into something menacing. You think you're in control, following the rules, but then the rules change, and the game turns on you.
That's where the real horror is. That loss of control, the realization that you've stumbled into something way deeper and more dangerous than you could ever imagine, like Alice falling down the rabbit hole. But instead of Wonderland, she finds herself in a realm of genuine peril.
It's like with Joc de Morte, the game supposedly created for Dracula, almost as if the game itself is like a conduit, a way for supernatural entities to cross over into our world.
And the article suggests that Dracula, may be bored with his own immense power, was looking for a new challenge, something to break the monotony,
Yeah.
of his immortal existence. It's interesting to think that even beings with that much power can become jaded, seeking novelty and stimulation, even if it comes at the expense of others.
It's like he was playing a game with the game itself, using the players as pawns for his own amusement. And the fact that he supposedly released this dangerous game into the world, knowing the chaos it could cause, that's a whole other level of indifference. It's pretty chilling.
Chilling is a good word for it. The article describes the game as incorporating both real and imagined elements. For example, it mentions earthly gods as potential adversaries in the game. While the concept of gods might seem fantastical, many cultures throughout history have believed in deities tied to specific aspects of nature or human experience. These beliefs often stem from a desire to understand and explain the world around them.
So even if we dismiss the idea of Dracula commissioning a board game, it's interesting to think about how the game's concept taps into those very real human fears and fascinations with the supernatural, with the forces that we, maybe don't fully comprehend.
Exactly. And that brings us to the question of belief. Does believing in a curse, in the potential dangers of a game, make you more susceptible to those dangers? Is it the magic itself that's dangerous? Or is it our own fear that gives it power?
Right. It's like that idea that if you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back. Are we creating the monsters in our minds, or are we simply opening ourselves up to something that already exists?
It's a question that philosophers and occultists have debated for ages. Is magic an external force? Or is it a manifestation of our own internal energies and beliefs? The answer might lie somewhere in between. The human mind is incredibly powerful, capable of both creation and destruction. And when that power is channeled through something like a cursed game, well, the results can be unpredictable, even catastrophic.
The Mystic Investigations article really emphasizes the darkness surrounding these games. But is it possible that there's another side to this? Could these games, even with their inherent dangers, also have, a potential for good?
That's a great question. If we consider Jumanji, for instance, the game was initially created as a form of protection. It was meant to safeguard a sacred land from exploitation, even if it meant using dangerous magic.
So even with the risks involved, maybe there is a glimmer of hope in these stories. Maybe it's not just about the darkness, but also about the potential for using that power for good, for protection, for balance.
Perhaps. But it also underscores the importance of intention. If we have the capacity to create things that blur the line between reality and fantasy, we need to be very careful about what kind of realities we're creating, both for ourselves and for others.
It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We have to think about the potential consequences of our actions, even when it comes to something seemingly innocent like a game.
It's fascinating to think that if we as humans can create these games that have such powerful magic, both good and bad, what does that say about us? What does that say about our capabilities?
That's a really good point. It makes you wonder if maybe there's a little bit of like a witch doctor or wizard in all of us just waiting to be awakened, But it also highlights that we need to use that potential wisely. Like if we're creating these games that blur the lines between reality and fantasy, then we really need to be careful about the kinds of realities we're creating for ourselves and everyone else.
Yeah, it's a reminder that our choices have consequences. They extend beyond ourselves. It's like that butterfly effect thing, but with magic and demons thrown in.
Exactly. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these cursed board games, I'll leave you with this. What if the line between our world and the supernatural world is more permeable than we think? What if those points where the two worlds intersect are way more common than we realize?
It's a chilling thought, but also kind of thrilling. Like if these stories are true even a little bit, It opens up a whole world of possibilities, mysteries waiting to be explored.
Right.
Maybe there's magic woven into everyday life. We just have to know how to look for it.
Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and you just might stumble across a little magic yourself. But remember, play carefully, be mindful of the consequences.
Great advice.
Here.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of cursed board games. And hey, if you ever find yourself browsing those game aisles, at the store, maybe think twice before you pick up that mysterious old game in the back.
Yeah.
You never know what you might be inviting into your life.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.